It is time to find out which car will win for design, performance, urban, luxury, and World Car of the Year 2021. The grand finale starts now.
Welcome to the 2021 World Car Awards. The road to the 2021 World Car Awards journey ends today with the declaration of the winners in our 5 categories: World Car Design of the Year, World Urban Car, World Performance Car, World Luxury Car, and the overall 2021 World Car of the Year. The journey began last fall when our 93 international journalists that make up our jury panel began their test drive reviews of all the eligible vehicles. The jurors' test drives were captured right here on World Car TV. We'll be sharing some of that footage with you in just a few minutes. I am Siddharth Vinayak Patankar, or Sid, in New Delhi, India. भारत में हमारे दर्शकों को मेरा नमस्कार और आपका खास स्वागत है दुनिया के अव्वल कार अवार्ड्स प्रोग्राम के परिणाम घोषणा पर. Now I would like to introduce you to my co-hosts for today's winner announcement. First, my World Car TV co-anchor, Scotty Reese in Austin, Texas. Howdy, Scotty.
Hello, and howdy, y'all, from Texas. I'm here in the truck capital of the world, but Austin is actually becoming quite a hotspot for EVs. Sid?
It is definitely, and we'll of course have lots to talk about, I know, with so many EVs in the fray today. But great to see you, Scotty. Now we go across to our other colleague, mi amigo, Carlos Sandoval, se nos une desde la Ciudad de México. Bienvenido, Carlos.
Wow, Sid, qué buen español. Hoy entregaremos los premios automotrices más importantes a nivel global. Personalmente, es un gran placer ser parte de este evento y representar a la comunidad hispanoparlante de todo el mundo, incluyendo a nuestros jueces latinoamericanos y españoles. Hello, everyone. Good morning from Mexico City. Today, the road to World Car 2021 reaches the end, and I'll be pleased to discover with you the winner for World Performance Car 2021. The table is set, but in the meantime, let's go back to New Delhi and back to you, Sid.
Muchas gracias, Carlos. And, you know, he's right. We've got all these different categories to go through. We will be bringing you those results in just a few moments now. On to our longest serving member of our steering committee, Jens Meiners, who is normally based in Germany. However, for our winners announcement today, and in keeping with tradition, he is in New York City, where the World Car Awards has staged the winners' press conference at the New York International Auto Show for the past 15 years. Herrlich willkommen, Jens. Jens is joined by Mark Scheinberg, president of the New York International Auto Show. Jens.
Thank you, Sid. Indeed, I'm in New York. I flew in 3 days ago, and I'm here with Mark Scheinberg, president of the New York Auto Show. It's awfully good to see you again. It's been 2 years since we were together at a New York Auto Show. We've seen each other in the fall of 2019 at different auto shows, but last year was when COVID hit, then subsequently Javits Center, the fantastic venue, turned first into a field hospital and then into a major vaccination site here in New York. There will be a New York Auto Show. It'll be later this year, and that's something that Mark will speak to us about. Mark.
Well, Jens, it's great to see you again and to be here in person on it. Things have changed dramatically over the last couple of years. It has been since 2019 since we had the last auto show. But we're excited about the presentations that are going to be done today and our partnership with World Car in doing these really important awards. Things have changed dramatically on it, but it's very impressive. And I got to congratulate all the jurors of the World Car for, really staying in there and keeping this enormously important award going on it. We hope to be back at the Javits Center soon. But again, congratulations on putting together this award. We look forward to hearing all the winners later on during the presentation.
Thank you, Mark. We're all proud to be partnering with you. And with that, I'll hand back to Sid.
Jens, it's great to see you. Mark, thank you as always for all your support. Great to see you as well. Okay, folks, it is my proud privilege to get the ball rolling with the World Car Design of the Year for 2021. All cars eligible across all categories were nominees for the Design Award. And so our expert design panel helps to whittle it down to the 5 cars that impressed them the most. After that, our jury takes charge and votes. From there, we go to our top 3 in the world finalists. Now, we've ended up with 3 very distinct designs, inside and out. They're all different in body style, different brands, of course, and they each represent something different to the buyer, to their brand, and of course, to our jurors as well. Let's take a look at the top 3 in the world for design. All right, so like I said, great contenders all, and I can't wait to find out who's won. Now, the way this works always is our tabulator KPMG is the one that compiles and tabulates all the results. And this year, since we're doing this remotely, we have been FedEx those results. Each one of us is holding one of these envelopes today. And as you can see, this says World Car Design of the Year. It is sealed, so I have no idea who's winning. I'm about to find out though. All right, let's take a look. As always, my hands are shaking. The 2021 World Car Design Award winner is... It's a favorite, the Land Rover Defender. Congratulations to Land Rover.
The Land Rover Defender. The iconic Defender nameplate from Land Rover returned for 2021. The new version harks back to the heritage of the historic vehicle in terms of its proportions and look, even borrowing specific details like the Alpine windows from the old model. But it is still very definitely a modern SUV. The Defender is also more plush and luxurious, despite its obvious rugged styling cues and off-road capability.
That is a huge victory for Land Rover. Now, JLR, by the way, has the distinction of winning the design award the most times. We'll soon be joined by Jerry McGovern, the Chief Creative Officer at JLR, that's Jaguar Land Rover, who's certainly one of the people behind this very iconic design returning in its modern avatar. Just want to show you that, Land Rover Defender. And all right, let me just check to see if he is ready to go, and we will connect to him in just a second. The Defender, of course, has returned, like I said, to the market with its brand new avatar. It is a vehicle that has received a whole lot of love the world over and has got a lot of attention, not just from our jurors, but from buyers in every market it's entered. Here in India, too, it gets a lot of attention, and not just for its legendary nameplate, but of course, for its iconic design as well. So if you're ready, we can go across to Jerry. Now, remember that, as I was mentioning, this is a brand that's been the most successful at World Car for the last several years. We've seen a whole lot of winners on the design front coming from JLR. We've had cars like the F-Pace and the F-Type, as well as the I-Pace. On the Jaguar side of things, we've had cars like the Evoque, the Velar, and now, of course, the Defender joining that tally to become, well, or to remain, I should say, the most successful brand. We should take a look once again at the Defender, and you'll see for yourself, if you haven't encountered this vehicle yet, just why the car has got all the attention that it has. It certainly was a favorite for our design panel, making it to the top 5 shortlist, and then definitely making it into some of the highest voting from our jury as well. No surprise, perhaps, for a lot of people to see that happen. But I have to say a quick word to both the very retro and yet very modern Honda E and the Mazda MX-30 that have also, of course, achieved a huge distinction being part of that top 3. But the Defender taking it away. All right, so we'll try and see if we can get to Jerry right now. But all right, if I could maybe just request our producers to play out the winning car once again for you to quickly feast your eyes on. The Land Rover Defender is, of course, as I mentioned, an iconic nameplate, and its design has now made it a modern day icon.
The Land Rover Defender. The iconic Defender nameplate from Land Rover returned for 2021. The new version harks back to the heritage of the historic vehicle in terms of its proportions and look, even borrowing specific details like the Alpine windows from the old model. But it is still very definitely a modern SUV. The Defender is also more plush and luxurious, despite its obvious rugged styling cues and off-road capability.
All right, so we have him now. Jerry McGovern is the Chief Creative Officer at Jaguar Land Rover, someone I've been lucky enough to spend some time with and interact. So first up, Jerry, huge congratulations from all of us here at World Car. It's a big moment for you.
Yes, Sid, thank you very much. You've certainly made our day here in Warwickshire in England. It's a fantastic accolade, and thank you very much. Thank you to you and all the team. I mean, it's the team that's created this, the designers and the engineers. I mean, it was a real team effort. We'll be over the moon with this award because it's so important.
Well, as I was saying earlier before we got you on, you've almost made a habit of this. There are now, I think, several awards in the JLR stable that are
I've got one of them here.
Trophies. Well, you'll soon have another one of them. That's terrific to see. Jerry, the Defender, I mean, it was always going to be the tough one to bring back because there was so much expectation. Talk us through how that went internally for you and how you arrived at this final design.
Well, I was very cognizant of the tremendous interest there was going to be on this vehicle because, we haven't seen a new one for such a long time, and everybody has a view on what a new Defender should be. And I was very mindful of that, and I tried desperately to protect the team from that. In other words, don't think about what the expectations are. We had a very clear design strategy, which was about embracing the past in terms of acknowledging the importance of it, but equally important, or more importantly, thinking about this vehicle in a future context. So it was about recognizing the past, but not being harnessed by it, because this vehicle is for, for the next generation, if you like. And, these vehicles, we try to create in them a sense of emotional connection. And certainly the originals had that strong emotional connection all those years ago. It still continues to have. Whether or not the new Defender will eventually carry the accolade of being considered iconic, we'll have to wait and see. But clearly an award like this speaks volumes of the way people feel about it. And, yesterday I was driving my 3-door Defender around the streets of London. And one of the things I notice is the way people look at it, and it just makes them smile. And for me, design does have the ability to enrich people's lives. And if you can do that in a sustainable, responsible way, then that's great. This is a vehicle that does truly resonate with people on an emotional level.
I can relate to that, Jerry, and we can all endorse the fact that when you drive out in that car, it gets a lot of attention. It is gorgeous. Many people are already calling it iconic. Huge congratulations. I know it's tough times we're in, but I hope you can get together with the team and truly celebrate. Great to see you as well.
Thank you. Thanks, Sid.
All right, so that was the first one done. World Car Design of the Year, the Land Rover Defender for 2021. That is a huge win. And like I said earlier, perhaps not as surprising for some people, but I was dying to know what was in that envelope. I'll tell you, I'm dying to know what's in the other envelopes as well. Let's quickly go across to Jens, who is standing by with World Urban Car of the Year. Jens.
Thank you, Sid, and congratulations from New York as well. The Land Rover is an incredibly beautiful and well-designed car, and I enjoy it every time I get a chance to drive it. The next category is of importance to the growing metropolitan areas of the world, the World Urban Car. We have 3 contenders, all 3 of them strong, all of them from Japan, where they clearly know how to make small cars with global appeal. Let's have a look at them. Pretty impressive cars. So let's have a look. This is the sealed envelope. And I'm curious to find out who gets the honors. And the 2021 World Urban Car is the Honda E. Congratulations, Honda.
The Honda E. It's hard to imagine a better city car than the retro-futuristic Honda E. With compact dimensions and a battery pack that is right-sized for urban surroundings. The car's huge USP is its cutting-edge infotainment system, and the beautifully crafted materials do wonders to alleviate the stress of city traffic. A real standout for the direction Honda is going in too.
Again, congratulations, Honda. This is a beautiful car that went from concept to series production car in relatively short time, that stayed true to the concept. We do have a pre-recorded statement from Honda, which I'd like to run.
I would like to say thank you for this award, reflecting the hard work and dedication of our engineering teams. We're delighted with the result and for the continuing support of the World Car of the Year organization. When we develop our new products, we always strive to create something that is appreciated beyond just its specification. cars which combine the core values of the Honda brand while bringing new benefits for today. Cars that are different and always have the customer at their center. It's incredibly rewarding to see these efforts recognized by the World Car Jury, and we thank you for this accolade.
That was Tom Gardner from Honda. Congratulations again. A fantastic car. Check it out. It's perfectly designed for urban settings, right-sized batteries, cutting-edge infotainment system. So definitely a worthy winner. I'm very happy to see the Honda take the honors. And we had two more strong contenders, of course, the Honda Jazz Fit and the Toyota Yaris. Now we go to the next category, a fascinating category, World Performance Car. And I would like Carlos Sandoval in Mexico to take over. Carlos, please.
Thank you, Jens. One of the most exciting awards to be announced today confronts three radically different approaches to performance. First, a huge 600 horsepower luxury SUV from Germany. Then, a compact interpretation for a race car with four-wheel drive and some World Rally Championship genes from Japan. But also a beautiful coupe that by itself defines the very meaning of a sports car coming from Germany. These are the top three finalists for World Performance Car 2021. I am so excited to know who is the winner. And with me is the sealed and signed envelope from KPMG with the actual results. And we are about to find out who is the winner for World Performance Car 2021. And the World Performance Car for 2021 winner is the Porsche 911 Turbo. Huge congratulations. This award sums up 7 titles for Porsche in this category, becoming one of the most winning brands in the history of World Car Awards. And with us to accept the award, I have Dr. Sebastian Rudolph, Head of Communications, Porsche Germany.
Porsche 911 Turbo. These days, almost every Porsche 911 is turbocharged, but the Turbo, with its 580 horsepower flat six, still has a special ring. With its 2.8-second sprint to 100 kilometers per hour and 320 kilometers per hour top speed, it is the proverbial apex predator on the track and on the Autobahn. The fascinating thing is how Porsche manages to move the needle with each new generation.
Well, while we get that interview, I have to discuss this because 911 actually was on the finalist for this same category last year. But this is a different story. We are talking about the 911 Turbo, and this is the epitome of this category. So I would love to share a little bit with Jens Meiners, which actually comes from Germany and is just right now in New York, because the 911 Turbo, it's something apart of the traditional or regular 911. And why do you, Jens, think that the Turbo won this time, another time again for Porsche?
Well, I think it's fair to say the 911 is the quintessential sports car, and the 911 Turbo is perhaps the quintessential supercar. When it launched in the mid-70s, it blew everything else away. It's the realistic figures, topped most of the Italian supercars at the time. It's a car that you can toss around. You can drive it on the Nordschleife all day. You can take it home at full speed on the Autobahn. and then you can fire it up the next morning and go to the grocery store, and nobody else can do that. The fascination of the 911 is endless, and the turbo is perhaps the most fascinating 911, maybe next to the GT3, which is more purist, but the turbo stands for sheer power. So it's a car that we all love, that everybody craves to drive. Definitely a deserving winner. I love the 911 turbo.
It is very interesting, Jens, that the last year we have a winner also from Porsche, the Taycan Turbo. It's an electric vehicle that actually does not have a turbo, but this iconic nameplate 911 Turbo means a lot inside the 911 full gamma. So do you think that the turbo it's actually the epitome from not the racing version for the 911 gamma, so just focusing on the purest 911?
Well, turbo, I think every turbo out there is coasting with the reputation of the 911 turbo. And it's everybody has a favorite 911, of course. There are a lot of different variations of that theme. I'll just say the turbo is possibly, it's one of my favorites next to the GT3, and it is the car that stands for sheer power. So yeah.
Great. Thank you very much, Jens. But now with us to accept the award is, now it's ready, Dr. Sebastian Rudolph, Head of Communications, Porsche Germany. Congratulations, Mr. Rudolph.
Yeah, Frank Walliser here on the phone. Thank you very much for inviting me and also fixing all the trouble in the background with the techniques. Yeah, very exciting for Porsche to achieve this recognition. And what really makes it different for us, it's an election by automotive experts that are really driving these cars. They can judge it because it's not an everyday's car. So thank you very much for that. We think that 911 Turbo and the Turbo S again pushed the envelope on the performance of a supercar, but also on this day-to-day usability. And I think that's a very, very unique offer, especially the day-to-day usability, where we are very proud on, because you can use a 650 horsepower car really every day under all weather conditions. You can go skiing, whatever you want. There is no other car in the world that can do that. And so for me, it's as vice president for 911 and 718 and the model line, it's really a big honor, and for the team behind that to get this award and this achievement. So thank you again. Thank you for considering Porsche several times. I think we counted 8 this time, including this one. Big honor for us. A big thank you to the jury and the judges.
Now, can you please give us a little bit of perspective here? How does Porsche manages to improve the 911 Turbo that much, generation after generation? Is there a physical limit for that?
Let me answer it in this way. Always when we finish a project and when we present it to the public and to our customers and the fans and the journalists, we think that's the total limit. We cannot do any more. We are running out of ideas. I think we achieved everything. And after a while, by driving the car, by reflecting the technology, we're also looking for new aspects and new drivers in the technology. We think, maybe we can do another step. And so after time, we gather the ideas together. We have a bunch of engineers that are really keen on to improve the car and to heavily improve it. And well, after this period, there's normally a new turbo, and it stands in the history of the turbo that we did all the time better. Also this time, and at the moment I will say we are not running out of ideas, so no worries.
Great, that's very good to know. Thank you very much, and congratulations again.
Thank
and
you
now
very much.
Let's go back to Austin, Texas, and back to you, Scotty.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carlos. Thank you, Carlos. It's really exciting to share the winner of our next category. This is the world luxury car category. And in this category, our 3 finalists this year really redefined, in fact, the whole category redefined what luxury is. Luxury is not just the vehicle, it's the destination. It's not just the creature comforts, but innovative creature comforts. And it's not just world-class design, but it's world-class design on an electrified platform. Let's take a look. And I have here our sealed envelope from KPMG. And the winner is, let's see if I can open this. My hands are a little shaky. Very excited to announce the winner of this category is the Mercedes-Benz S-Class. Congratulations, Mercedes-Benz. Let's take another look at the 2021 World Luxury Car winner.
The Mercedes-Benz S-Class. The new Mercedes-Benz S-Class serves up superlatives in every conceivable way. A trove of top-level luxury, infotainment, and assistance features makes for a most serene driving experience. It is a fast and efficient car too, given the cutting-edge powertrain choices. The S-Class also boasts the brand's new design direction, and that's not surprising since this is the flagship of the portfolio.
Huge congratulations to Mercedes-Benz with the all-new S-Class for 2021. And I'm thrilled to introduce to accept this award virtually, Professor Ernst Berger, head of S-Class Model Series Product Group, Mercedes-Benz AG. Dr. Ernst Berger, welcome.
Thank you very much. We are very, very honored, and it's really a great honor for us to see the new S-Class recognized by so many journalists around the globe as the 2021 World Luxury Car. And to be honest, it really feels right. For our customers, the S-Class has always stood for the ultimate in automotive luxury. For decades now, the S-Class is the world's best-selling luxury saloon. Building on its long tradition of innovations, the new generation once again sets the pace in automotive industry. The S-Class offers trailblazing innovations in all areas, from safety to comfort to efficiency to quality. And there is one more thing I want to add. I especially want to thank our engineers and employees who worked that hard for the new S-Class. It's not only an award for the car, it's an award for the people working in and on this outstanding car. Thank you.
Thank you for noting all the amazing people that it takes to work on such a world-class vehicle. Dr. Ernst Berger, can I ask you one question? The S-Class is such a wonderful platform for vehicle development. What is coming next in the S-Class lineup?
Yes, as you see, we not only have the combustion engines, we also have the plug-in hybrids, and in the last days we also showed the new electric EQS, the electric version of the S-Class, and this gives you the total variety of possibilities which the automotive industry see in the next years.
Wonderful. Thank you so much and congratulations again. And now, for the moment that we're all waiting for on pins and needles, we're going to go over to Jens Meiners with the World Car of the Year. Jens?
That's pretty amazing, Scotty. Exciting. But now the tension really rises because we will get to the 2021 World Car of the Year. But before that, I have one question for Mark. And Mark, I know how much we love the interaction with the colleagues at the auto show floor. Nothing beats seeing the cars, touching the cars. Will auto shows be the same after the pandemic?
I do. I believe so. I think the power of an auto show is extremely unique and important to the auto industry, to the retailers and the manufacturers. Listen, in the United States alone, 7 million households come to an auto show to take a look at all the new product on it. 72% of the people that are coming to a show are 12-month intenders, and 40% of those people actually add a brand to their consideration. So there's nothing like an auto show, the excitement that it brings to the industry on it. And so I'm very bullish on the fact that auto shows are going to be back very strong and stronger than ever.
Perfect. That's really encouraging. And that is something to look forward to, Mark. And with that, we get to the core of this year's awards. So here we are, the World Car of the Year. 3 strong contenders, 2 of them electric. Let's have a look at them. Here's the sealed envelope. Votes were tabulated by KPMG, as always. And here we go. Let's see. Takes a second. And the 2021 World Car of the Year is the Volkswagen ID.4. Congratulations, Volkswagen. Let's have another look at the car.
Volkswagen ID.4. Designed for global markets, the Volkswagen ID.4 utilizes the brand's brand new MEB modular platform. Representing a decisive step into the electric future, the ID.4 will eventually be offered with front-wheel and all-wheel drive, and depending on the version, range could exceed 520 kilometers. It is a car that VW is betting big on and will shape its future EV portfolio.
All right, so that's the VW ID.4, a very significant car for VW because following the ID.3, it stands for the comprehensive electrification of the Volkswagen brand. It's based on the modular electric platform, which now has a few more iterations, including the Audi Q4 and other cars. But the ID.4 is really VW's global car, global EV, to basically push in Europe, push in the US, in China, and other markets. I have now with me Klaus Zellmer from Volkswagen's board, responsible for marketing, and I would like to ask him a few questions. But first of all, congratulations. What a win.
Well, Benjamin, thank you very much. We seriously did not know whether we would be the winner of this marvelous accolade. So we are really excited. My colleague next to me is already texting other colleagues that have been working hard to put this car into reality. And so thank you so much. We are pleased. We are proud. World Car of the Year, of course, it says it all. Benjamin, you said it. This is truly a world car because it's being sold in Europe, China, and the US. And it's something that is testifying that VW is really serious about the way to zero, about carbon neutrality for our future business, and about the transformation this company is planning in our strategy going forward. And it's not only this award that we're really proud of. It's also the order intake that we currently see in China, Europe, and the US is great because it's exceeding our ambitious plans by a big margin. So the market is reacting positively. The stock market is reacting positively. And thank you again for this award. We're really proud and thankful.
Absolutely. Well, we were highly impressed by the car. I've driven it myself near Wolfsburg, and it is one of the best cars I've driven recently, and certainly probably the best electrics. And my colleagues obviously agree with that. It is the best new car on the market. It is the world car of the year. Let me ask you one question coming from Germany. The fact that we still have the Autobahn, does it make a difference even in the electric age? Does the German environment lead to a different approach to engineering?
Well, we certainly build cars in Germany for a potential use without a speed limit. But as we all know, that of course in real life there's traffic and there are speed limits even on the German Autobahn. You can't always use it, and you should only ever use it, of course, if it's safe for you and for other people on the Autobahn. But yes, of course, the cars that we build are made to be used in a non-limit environment, whereas the electric cars, of course, that's a different story. Because they are certainly not the right concept to go top speed all the way through, because the battery would not allow for that. They're more for the sustainability aspect of mobility going forward.
Absolutely, I agree with that, and yet I'm still looking forward to drive the upcoming GTX version. I don't think I'm telling a big secret here, which is the high-powered version of this car. So again, congratulations. From here, from the offices of Mark Steinberg here in New York, and back to Sid in India.
Thank you very much. We're really proud. Thank you.
That is absolutely phenomenal. Many congratulations to Volkswagen. What a huge statement. The ID.4 winning World Car of the Year 2021. Jens, thank you as well. And thank you to, in fact, all of my co-presenters today. And steering committee members. Huge congratulations to all our winners. We will recap them for you in just a minute. And of course, there'll be a lot more on the 2021 awards. Also, our past winners on worldcarawards.com. You can also follow us along on social media, on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And of course, World Car TV will continue to bring you a lot of exciting content from the global automobile world right here on YouTube. Now, things remain tough around the globe and the pandemic is far from over. So we do urge you to stay home when possible, wear a mask in public, of course, stay healthy, stay safe, and our thoughts are with each and every one of you around the world. But before we say goodbye, I simply have to get first reactions from my colleagues here. And as I said, our producers would, of course, play out some of these winners for you. Just to recap, for any of you who's just joining us, we've had huge wins across our 5 categories. But Scotty, ladies first, your first reaction, especially in that category that you presented.
Wow. Well, I feel like every single one of these categories really nailed the trend and what people are thinking right now, what people want, and where innovation is leading us. Mercedes-Benz taking the world luxury car category, actually not a huge surprise, because Mercedes is always so leading and so top of mind is the brand. That's the brand when you think of luxury. And they're very innovative. They're always the first to introduce new technology that all the other auto manufacturers adopt eventually. So huge congratulations to Mercedes-Benz. Not a surprise, but definitely a great moment, because it tells us that Mercedes is still leading us. They're leading us in innovation and they're leading us in luxury.
I have to say, the pandemic is the reason I haven't driven that car yet. So I'm itching to drive it now, even more so. I want to also quickly say we have a huge audience that's still with us. So for those of you who are still watching, we'd love for you to ask any questions you might have about our winners. But on that note, over to you, Carlos. I know you were really excited to present performance this year and happy with the winner.
Well, performance car, Sid, is always about excitement, right? I am happy. I mean, at the end, Porsche, for most of us, represents the epitome of this segment. Some years, of course, many other brands present great cars. And I thought this year, the Toyota Yaris had a very strong arguments to fight for it. And of course, one of my favorite powerful SUVs, the Audi RS Q8. I mean, 600 horsepower for the whole family, super quick, super comfortable. I love it. But if you think about the 911, that by the way didn't win the last year against another Porsche, the Porsche Taycan, and now this year comes back with a different engine, more powerful, more refined driving, the 911 Turbo. Yes, of course it deserves it. I was thinking in this way, so if I had to bet, then I'll have some money right now on my hand.
It was the obvious winner in many ways, wasn't it? I mean, it becomes almost like the benchmark car in that space. You're right, the RS Q8 is phenomenal. And, I have to say I have a soft spot for it. But the GR Yaris, quick word for what Toyota has been able to achieve. The fact that you have a car like that, make it to the top 3 in itself, is a huge, huge accolade for Toyota and its engineering, especially at Gazoo Racing. But Jens, Toyota, I know, made it into the top 3 across many categories. And of course, yes, all right, doesn't have a win today, but still a lot to be said for what Toyota has been able to achieve with a car or a nameplate that's global, like the Yaris.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right. Toyota follows its own strategy, its own path. It stands for an openness to all kinds of technologies, maybe more than any other car maker. Toyota is really hedging its bets. And I love the fact that the Toyota has the quintessential hot hatch, maybe, in the form of the GR Yaris. And basically, the message is that cars should still be fun. And that's also something that Akio Toyoda has emphasized again and again. So I was really happy to see Toyota up there in 3 categories with its cars. And they would have deserved to win. Other cars beat them. But all of the cars, all of the contenders were incredibly strong this year. So yeah, you're absolutely right. It is a very significant car. It's also an interesting to see how a car that was conceived in Europe. It started in '97 with the Funtime concept, and then became the Yaris. How that has become such a global powerhouse brand, really.
Can't wait to see the new generation in India. We do have the sedan version for the previous generation. I want to quickly tell you, Auto Info, the handle Auto Info, says congratulations to all the winners. A lot of thanks to everybody who made this virtual prize giving possible. And so a quick, I think we all take a bow, but also a quick word to our fantastic production team in Toronto. I think they've all done a great job bringing this across to our global audience today. There's also a whole lot of people who are looking for our juror from India, Hani Mustafa. So big shout out to Hani, because you have a whole lot of fans who are watching. And I know you're watching too, because I see your messages. So thank you for tuning in. We've also got a very nice question from the handle Stream a Doodle, saying question to Siddharth and also to some of the others. What's the best feature you like on the Mercedes-Benz S-Class? Jens, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah, the best feature I like on the S-Class, well, that's a tough one. I do love the interior, the incredibly futuristic dashboard, and basically the attention to detail that you see there, the metal wood combinations, and of course the three-dimensional instrumentation, the augmented reality head-up display. I mean, with the new S-Class, Mercedes has, launched itself far ahead of the competition, I have to say. Everybody is good, but the S-Class is so full of innovation that it'll be really hard to catch up. The other thing I love about the S-Class is the fact that they have a whole bunch of powertrains, and the V12 will return. I like the V12, and there's no other luxury car except for the 7 Series on some markets that still has a V12 in this segment. They will have AMG versions, they have plug-in hybrids, they have fantastic diesel engines. And so, well, there's so many things. I'll say interior design, powertrains, that has blown me away. The exterior is beautiful as well, quite restrained. Okay, well, maybe one more thing. Maybe the rear wheel steering, which makes the car really feel like a much smaller car when you're parking it. Quite impressive.
Yeah. So you like the car then, Jens? I mean, I did ask for just the one thing, but No, all right. I have to say, I agree with you on the interior. I think it's going to set a new benchmark in that space. It's always tough when the S-Class comes out for the rivals to then scurry and bring their products. Quick acknowledgement to Ebere, who says, I'm happy for Volkswagen. Congratulations. I think the Audi e-tron GT will be there too. So that's something bubbling under for next year, I suppose, to already look forward to, which I know we're all going to go into 2022 mode right after this broadcast ends. We've also got Speedheads, who says, great presentation of all the winners. Congratulations to the winners. Cheers, Christian. So thank you, Christian, for watching, and really appreciate your comments. Scotty, favorite feature on the S-Class?
Well, the thing that impresses me so much about the S-Class is how the interior is prepared for whether you're having a chauffeur drive you or the car drive you. So it's looking very far down the road to where technology is going to take us in autonomous or semi-autonomous, wherever it lands, driving, so that even if you're in the back seat, you have these creature comforts. If you're in the front seat and the car is really doing the driving for you, you can put on some soothing music, some great, adjust the lighting and get a massage. And none of these features are really new, but in the S-Class, they take it up to the next level and prepare us for the time when our cars do more of the work for us.
All right. So Hani agrees with us, by the way, because we have a lot of his fans, like I mentioned, from Kerala. So shout out to all of them once again. And before I forget, of course, Carlos, we'd love to know what you think. S-Class.
I'll have to go short. Then the plug-in hybrid versions, I loved it. I mean, 100 kilometers electric, and then you have a full gasoline power engine to go anywhere. For me, it's the right way of doing things right now while we go through full electric. So that version, specifically that version, I just loved it.
It'll be the V12 for me, though.
Why am I not surprised? We do have some of our jurors also on the live broadcast here today. So it's great to see you guys. Eddie Cunningham, Dhruv Bell, wonderful to see you guys as well. And there are, of course, some more interesting questions. There's one from CL who says, now that more and more EV cars are starting to appear in different categories, will you add more award categories for EVs? That's interesting. And Jens, I know you've been at the center of this conversation. We used to have the World Green Car Award. EVs becoming way too ubiquitous to sort of hem them into a separate category.
Yes, we don't want to give the impression that EVs are kind of a side topic. And now I've had the distinct pleasure of announcing 2 EVs as winners here in a group of 5 cars. EVs have moved into the mainstream, so I don't think a separate category would send the right message here.
All right, a quick word on the other category winners as well. We are thrilled, of course, to see the Honda E take home a trophy as well today. That car has been discussed right from the time its concept first came out, and everybody gushed about that concept and said, wow, we hope it makes it to production. And then the production car looks almost like the concept. I know that all of us have sort of had a little soft spot for this car over the last year. Scotty, to you first.
Absolutely. The heritage design, the almost animated look to it. It's just charming,
Jens?
The Honda E, right? The Honda E is so much fun. It's a car you basically you want to touch, you want to feel it. It's fantastic in the city. It is nimble. It is fun to drive on country roads. It has a relatively small battery, and it's really right-sized for local driving, for taking it out on the country roads. Not the car for long trips, although it can do that as well. They have a really great interior, fantastic materials. They have the electronic rear view mirrors, executed in a far better way than other car makers that have a similar feature. And in a way, the infotainment system is ahead not only of other Honda models, but of the industry. I like it a lot, and I've driven it a lot in Germany. It's a very impressive little car.
I envy you because we're all dying to get our hands on one of them. I can tell you, all of us from this part of the world who haven't yet been able to drive it. And of course, Guilherme Costa, our juror from Portugal, did drive it. There is a video that's up on World Car TV that you guys can go and look at if you aren't acquainted with the Honda E. Carlos, it also has a video game built into it, so that makes it kind of cooler.
Actually, I haven't driven the car. I just loved it. I remember when we first saw it at the Tokyo Auto Show, and now that it's a reality, I'm just dying to drive the car. I'm not quite sure if it's going to make it to Latin American markets. So hopefully someday I will drive it in the US, Europe, or if every single God is aligned with us, then in Mexico.
Us too, because we don't have it in North America. So we're hoping that Honda will decide now that it's won this award, that hopefully they'll bring it to the US, because I think it would do really well here.
That's right. Once again, of course, you have to mention the Yaris and the Jazz, both the cars that you would almost identify with the urban category. No surprise to see them in the top three, but also no surprise to see the Honda E winning. On design, there was, of course, a lot of speculation and a lot of conversation that the Honda E might take that. But Jaguar Land Rover, wow, I mean, they just keep going and winning that category over and over, have left everybody in the dust. And Jerry McGovern and his team have plenty to be proud about. Carlos, this time I'll start with you. Please react to the Defender winning design.
I just loved the car the first time I saw it. I mean, yes, it's a retro design, reinterpretation of the classic. I think it's a very tough task to execute. I mean, can you transform or reinterpret an icon like that? And the result, I think, yes, they did, and they did just so well. They also compete with the same car for a luxury car, and we know it's tough, but I mean, again, against the S-Class, it's very complicated. But if you only see it from the design perspective, I can tell you, I just love it. I actually have the small size of that car, the one it's made with Lego. I love it. I just love it.
That is very popular, has done very well for Lego. There's a nice question from Car Girls India. It's a handle that's very akin to yours, Scotty. So I'll ask you that question first. Question to all of the jurors. 3 out of the 5 winners are German. Based on your collective and vast knowledge, which other countries do you foresee coming up with exciting innovation in the near future?
You know, I was very surprised that there weren't any North American manufacturers in the among the winners. That was a surprise. But we're seeing more and more vehicles that have broad appeal and broad for women, broad capability, especially with SUVs from Asian automakers and then also from Europe. So I think across the board, it's not really necessarily the country, but it's the type of vehicle. And that the ID4 is an SUV, I think speaks a lot to where the average consumer is, which more and more that average consumer is female. They want something that's capable, that has all-wheel drive, that is not super small, that you can fit your family and your things in. And so it's actually very rewarding as a woman to see the cars that are meaningful to me be recognized on a global stage.
I have to quickly bring in a very important comment and a point that we, of course, must dwell on. Going back to the previous question about EVs and whether or not they should have their own category, remember, of course, that we did announce about a month ago that we'd have a brand new EV award, the World Electric Vehicle of the Year. That's something that we've been talking about here at World Car. And correct reminder coming in from our colleague Beth Rhines. So yes, that's going to be exciting, because while it's great to see that we have electric vehicles going into every category, we had them literally across all our categories this year. No surprise, of course, given all the attention, R&D spends, and consumer attention that's going to EVs. But Jens, this should be a big one as well. And I think the automobile industry will really appreciate this.
We'll see how it goes. Absolutely, yeah, I agree.
All right. There was a question. I'm now missing the handle, but there was a question about there was a nice one about where we are all live streaming from today. Are we at home, office, somewhere in the middle? So do you guys want to? I'm at home. I had to be, because we're all on lockdown anyway. Can't step out. So the plan was to be in the office, but I am at home. You guys?
I'm at home
actually.
Too. Not because we're on lockdown. We're not on lockdown, but most offices are not back up and running. So while we're not forbidden from going out, we can go out and go about our business. Most people are still working at home, and very few people have actually gone back to the office. So that's where I am. I'm at home in Austin. Carlos, where are you?
We just call it home office, right? We live here, we work here. So we are in both places at the same time. This is my office and this is my home also.
Jens, of course, is not at home.
It's the home of World Car Awards in New York City, right?
You could say that, yes. It's a beautiful office. I'm going to be back in Brooklyn this afternoon.
All right. So one last word, of course, about the other manufacturers from different parts of the world. Remember, last year we had a very strong showing from the Koreans. This year as well, I have to say a lot of the Korean brands were definitely in our top 10, top 5 contention. So yes, in some ways it's surprising not to see them make it to the winners table. But you know what? It's a matter of time. They are very strong. Some of the products, the development around those products, and a lot of EVs as well coming from that part of the world now. So a word for the Korean manufacturing as well. I see Guilherme has now also logged in here, and I see him saying, I hope we can meet next year at LA. That, of course, is where we hope we will have the 2022 World Car test drives. I know that, Carlos, you and I get pretty excited about those.
Yes, we are. And hopefully, if the borders are open, I will drive another car from Mexico City all the way to Los Angeles. So yes, Guilherme and everybody else, we'll see you there.
The challenge, though, Carlos, is to drive an electric car from Mexico City to Los Angeles. That would be the challenge.
There you go.
Before we go, though, I'm going to add my own question in here. I want to hear what you guys, what your experience was with the ID4, which of course, took our top prize. Has everybody driven it? I'm not sure if you've driven it, Sid, but Jens spent some time with it.
I did, yes.
Tell us what you think about it. I mean, that's a pretty big statement for all of our 93 jurors to weigh in for the final decision to award this to ID4.
It oozes perfection in a way. It does everything extremely well. It is extremely thought out. They can still do cars that are fun to drive. The precision in steering, in handling, is remarkable for an EV, which of course are heavy cars. So I was thoroughly impressed by the ID4, and it's a car that'll work very well for the mainstream. That'll work for many customers, especially those that have the opportunity to charge their car at home or at work. I drove it on small country roads. I drove it on the Autobahn. I maxed it out, and it gets up to, it's governed at 100 miles per hour. The GTX version will go quite a bit faster, I think 112 or so. And of course, they have more potential. And the car was absolutely safe and stable at that speed, quiet. As far as SUV, electric SUVs go, and that is a category that is growing, it's as perfect as you can get, or as any EV I've driven so far.
All right, guys, we got to wrap this up. We got Mark Richardson, one of our jurors as well from Canada, saying congratulations, everyone, on making this all work so well. So thank you all for, of course, doing so much to get to this point. It's not just what we announced today, but it's a whole process, the road to World Car that really starts months ago and then culminates in New York. Today, we do have New York as part of the presentation. But as I said earlier, we will all get through this tough time that the world still finds itself in. Guys, you have to stay safe. And of course, we're going to get cracking on the 2022 award process, right, Carlos?
Very, very soon.
Scotty, it's great to see you. And we have plenty more to achieve on World Car TV, no doubt.
Yes, we do. In fact, quite a few vehicles coming up for 2022. I was getting a little sneak peek yesterday, and it's going to be a good year.
Cannot wait. Jens, thank you again. And I know you will keep sort of guiding the ship, as it were. Great to see you in New York.
Great to see you. Great to see everyone here. And we have a fantastic jury. And looking forward to the next season. And the next season will be even better because we will be able to see each other in person. Fingers crossed.
Both hands. That is the hope. And with that, it's a great note to end on. Very optimistic. Everybody, stay safe. Thank you so much for watching. It's goodbye from me and all my fellow jurors at World Car, we look forward to welcoming you, as we said, on the road to World Car 2022. Very soon, all of that action will unfold on World Car TV. Please take care of yourselves, your families. Stay safe. Bye-bye.